Hey guys, we are going back to something that I have not done in, I don't know, a little while, and it's not because I don't have any. I've certainly got a pile of these just stacking up, and I still haven't opened hardly any of them in quite a while. So today we're going to take a look at a few of the smaller versions of this line. We're going to take a look at some more Transformers Power of the Primes figures. We have got some of the Legends class figures here. We've got Outback, and then we've got Cindersaur, and these are some of the smaller scale Transformers. So we've got them here in their standard packaging, and I've said previously in some of these reviews that I absolutely love the card back artwork for this line. I think it looks fantastic. It's vibrant, it's colorful, it really pops. And then you of course have got the figures in the bubble there, and then the backer cards for these figures have some product shots and a little bit of a bio for these guys. So we're going to check both of these out, so let's pop them out and take a look. All right, we're going to take a quick look at Outback here first, and frankly we're going to do that because he is the one I'm least interested in. He is just kind of a standard Autobot. There's nothing too crazy about him. He transforms into kind of like a Jeep Humvee type thing. He's brown and tan. There's really not a lot interesting about this guy. We'll take a look at articulation real quick. Arms can swivel. You've got a joint at the elbow. You can rotate the head a little bit. Legs can swivel, and then there is a knee bend. There's really not a lot going on here. You can also move the arms outward as well. It's just, you know, based on the size of these things, they have just as much articulation as you might expect something that has to also transform. As far as his, you know, general look, he looks okay. I don't have any real issues with him, except for the fact that he's got, on this arm, on his left arm anyway, he's got this humongous wheel that sits over top of his hand, so it makes him asymmetrical, which somehow kind of bugs me. In general, though, he's not too bad. I do like his head sculpt. He's actually very stoic, and, you know, he kind of reminds me of, you know, Brawl or Brawn or Cup, for that matter, you know, stuff like that. Those kind of older, gruff Transformers. I don't know anything about this particular figure or this character, so I'm just going based on his looks. In general, I think he's okay. He's just kind of a standard, maybe background Autobot, background character. The big thing that sticks out to me is the head sculpt. He does have the decal on his chest there, and we've got some other decals on the legs down here. We've got the Autobot logo. He's pretty devoid of paint, though. He doesn't really have much. He's got some on the eyes, and you know, he's got like the windshield, and the windows are blacked out. He's got some brown paints here on top of the tan parts, but for the most part he's just a lot of cast plastic, so he's not necessarily bad in the looks department. He's just unassuming and not exactly very exciting, but I kind of get what they're going for, because, you know, he's supposed to be kind of maybe like a deserty type vehicle, so it's going to be browns, and brown doesn't always translate into a great figure. This little guy is the one I was interested in the most out of the two. So we've got a very small, very purple and yellow dinosaur transformer. So you kind of won me right off the bat. Let's do articulation real quick. You've got a swiveling head. Nothing that gets in the way like with Outback. Arms can go out. They can swivel. You do have an elbow joint there. We do not have anything at the waist. We do have legs. They can go all the way out, though. You can kick forward, and then there's not an elbow. That's a knee. So it's basically the same thing that you saw with Outback. The only real difference is, you know, that the head is not really encumbered by the kind of helmet that's up there at the top. This figure really does it for me in the looks department, though. That's really all I cared about. I saw a purple dinosaur. I was sold right away. So we've got a lot of cast plastic here in terms of the colors on this guy. And then we've got some yellowy green type colors that bring out some of the accents of the figure. There is a little translucent plastic on whatever this piece happens to be. Some translucent over here as well, so that's another plus. Got the Decepticon logo on the chest there, and we've got some grays that kind of just break the sculpt up a little bit on the legs there. This figure is decidedly smaller than Outback, though. I'm going to bring them back in just for comparison. They're obviously the same height. You know, they're about 3 3/4 inch, 4-ish inch figures. But in terms of bulk, you've got a lot of difference here. And it's just the kind of Transformer that it is, so it's not really a plus or a minus. It's just something to note. So I really like the way this one looks. It's very small and spry, and it just looks cool, and that's really all I care about. You know, I'm a Transformers novice these days. It's not my thing. It never really was. I just happen to be in it more so at certain times than I am now. But I do think this one looks really cool. It looks just kind of devious, a little small, you know, raptor type Transformer. You don't have to do much more to sell me. All right, now here we are with Outback in his transform mode, so our alt mode here. And like I said, he's kind of a Jeep Humvee type of Transformer, so Lots of browns, lots of tans, and that's basically what you've got. You've got a Jeep type transformer here. He can roll. He had 7 steps, and mine didn't come with instructions. I'm not sure if it's supposed to or not, or if somehow they just got flung out of the box when I opened the guy. But I was able to transform him, I believe, correctly without the instructions, so there's not a great deal you do. You just sort of fold him up, basically, and then that wheel that makes him asymmetrical actually goes on the top, as you can see there, because we've got 5 wheels, so it's the spare, and then it also creates like some lights that are on the top. So he looks okay. I mean, there's nothing too special about him. He looks okay. He looks like a Humvee type vehicle. And yeah, that's about it. Once again, we've got Cindersaur back, and this was, again, the one that I was the most interested to have, and this is the one that I like the most when it's transformed in Assault mode as well. So again, it is a raptor type of dinosaur type, transformer here, and it does have, an articulated jaw, which is pretty cool. It does still show some of that translucent plastic on the thigh joints, and then you see a lot more of the green yellow color because it's the tail, so it's a big portion of it. This guy had 12 steps, and frankly I got lost about midway through, but still managed to do it just fine without really paying attention to the instructions, and I believe that this is correct as well. It looks kind of wonky this way. It's, you can see a lot of exposed parts, and there's a gap that goes right through the chest, but it's a little transformer. It's a small guy, so I'm not really too concerned about it. It's a purple and yellowy green dinosaur. Again, there's no real way I wasn't gonna like this. So there you go, guys. We got a couple new Transformers in the Power of the Primes line. We've got Cindersaur, we've got Outback, and yeah, I think they're both okay. Cindersaur is definitely my favorite of the two. I don't get a great deal of enjoyment out of these little smaller scale Transformers, but these were in particular sent in by a viewer, so I figured I would at least give them a look, and Cindersaur is pretty fun. Outback is kind of your generic vehicle type Transformer. Nothing good, nothing bad, at least for me, and they both transform relatively easily, especially for someone like me who really doesn't know what he's doing most of the time when it comes to Transformers these days. So yeah, they're both all right. That's going to do it for this look at the Power of the Primes, Cindersaur and Outback Transformers from Hasbro. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.